today, oh, that was... Anyways, into the actual video. I decided to kind of go through books that are my personal favorites, because they're very good, and I think that everybody should at least read them like once in their life. Hey. Okay, we're just gonna start, because if I don't start, nothing's gonna get done. Ow! First one is this book. It is called Firefly Lane. Yeah, there's a Netflix show about it, but the Netflix show is absolutely atrocious, and you need to actually physically pick up the book. I know it looks super thick, and the words are really tiny, but let me tell you right now, this book, it's so good. I really fuck with like books and shows and movies and stuff like that, like about friendships, and this book was like the everything I've ever been looking for. So I read it when I was 15, actually. It's about these two girls and they're best friends, and it's literally just their lives together from I think like the 8th grade up until they're like in their 40s. Like, I'm telling you, this is like everything I've ever dreamed of, okay? And it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. On to the next one. So I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to get into it. Like, I wasn't really feeling it. It's called Just Listen, okay? And it takes place in like 2002 or something like that. But I'm telling you, so it's kind of romancy, I guess you could say, but it's not like I'm reading like a Love and Gelato or like Beach Read or something like that, or Better Than the Movies. Like, that's not what the whole book is like based upon, you know? But there's just like this cute little like romance trope like within it, and it's like, oh, like that's so cute. And that's honestly, I love the book for it, because I'm not an avid romance book reader, as we know. It's obvious, it's whatever. If I could find another book like this, I don't know what I would do, to be honest with you. Don't know what I would do. But yeah, so it's about this girl, and she's the youngest of 2 siblings, and she's a model, and she just kind of like starts talking to this kid that like goes to her school, and like they build like this friendship, and it's so good. It's so good. And like the guy that like she meets and like she ends up like, you know, dating and stuff, like he's so perfect and I love him, and I'm like, where is he in my life? But I'm telling you, it is so worth reading, and I would love to tell you what it's about, but I will spoil the entire book. I fully will. I will spoil the entire book for you, and I don't want to do that because you need to pick it up and you need to read it yourself. It's really good. I read this book when I was like 13, I think. Definitely not something I should have been reading at 13, but it's fine. And it was really good, and it still is really good, and it is something that I reread quite often, actually. The Bell Jar. And I know it's like, I think I really just like hyped it up a lot, or not even hyped it up, but I think I just like really over exaggerated. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. When I first read this book, I threw up. And not because I was like disgusted. It just hurt to read like the things that she was doing to herself, you know? And I'm reading about it and I'm like, I could never imagine someone doing that to themselves, or me doing that to myself. And I know that sounds cocky, but I'm not trying to sound cocky in saying that. I'm simply saying it because like the reason that I like to read books that discuss topics such as the ones that are discussed in this and other books that I've read is because I just want to understand it. And I want to know why these people, you know, like how someone can do that to themselves, because it hurts my heart. And I'm not trying to shame anybody for doing it, because I understand that like we all go through our own things, and I know my fair share of people who, you know, they've whatever. it hurts to think about, but that's why I like to read those kinds of books, because I just want to understand like what people are thinking when it comes to that sort of thing. And that's what's so good about this book, is that you really get this understanding of what somebody who is struggling with so many of these, you know, sensitive type topics, you really get this like look into their thoughts. And I understand that everybody is different, you know. And listen, I've watched movies about it. I've, you know, done research. I've learned about it. I've learned about everything. You know, I've talked to people about it, blah, 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 all that sort of thing. But like, this, you're getting her thoughts. Before somebody starts in with like, Victoria, it's a fiction, it's actually not. It is, I think, what was the word? Like semi-autobiography or something like that. So Sylvia Plath, this is like technically the book of her life. It's just that the locations and the names of people were changed and stuff like that. This is like a look at her life, pretty much. All right, next one. No more. This is a good one. I really love this book. I love this book so much, guys. I'm never gonna be able to reread it though. Okay, the cover's a little trippy, so don't freak out. But this is called This Thing Between Us by Gus Morano. And I'm telling you, this book deserves 1 million 5-star reviews, but it has no reviews. No reviews. There is no reviews on any website I've looked at. Not seen one review for this book. And it is the most depressing thing ever. I was gonna leave one, but then I realized that I kind of actually suck ass at writing my opinion on something, so it's just easier if I don't. But I'm here to tell you that this book, I have never been happier that I picked up something to read in my entire life, okay? Entire life. It's the best thing I've ever read. It really is. It's happy, it's sad, it's funny, you know, you go through 7 different emotions while reading it. I'm telling you, you need to read this book. It is a canon event. I sat in my bed from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. and I read this entire thing. I know it's not very big, and it doesn't, you know, you're probably like, Victoria, like, what the fuck, like that? No, when did that happen? No way! It is about this guy and his wife, and the wife passed away, and it's kind of like his grieving process, but he goes kind of back and forth between talking about like the time leading up to her death and then like his life after she is dead. But the way that it's written is written in this like letter format, and it's like he's telling you as if you're his wife who passed away. I'm gonna literally spoil this entire book for you guys if I keep talking, so I just have to tell you that you have to read this book because it's really, 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 really good, and I really, really, really like it, and it's one of my favorite books, and I think everybody should read it because it's just so amazing. But I will never be able to reread it. But I definitely recommend it to you and to everybody and their mother. Oh, if anybody actually reads any of these books that I'm telling you to read, can you tell me? Because I will give you a playlist to listen to while you're reading the book, because it's so important that you listen to a good playlist. If you read this book, this one specifically, you have to listen to The Stranger in the Alps Phoebe Bridgers album on repeat. You have to listen to that album while you read this book. Okay? Because reading Motion Sickness and hearing about him and his little Saint Bernard dog that he has, I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. And I'm not even lying. I really do. I really do. You're worth loving.